Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. Now we will be streaming on Wednesday evening, going back to the world of Braid at 10 p.m. our time. That'll be 5 p.m. Eastern time in the States, and you can probably work out where you are based on one of those. So we had a go at this last week, and frankly it was the first time that I don't think I'd looked at the clock until we only had about 15 minutes left of a 2-hour stream. It was very entertaining watching Simon, especially. I mean, I've occasionally supplied little hints, but basically it's Simon trying to puzzle out and then execute the controls enough to get through various remarkable levels of this game, in which you have to so far assemble puzzle pieces. I don't know if there's more to come later. It was very interesting. We will be back there, and a world I'm enjoying exploring. Another world that you could explore is the world of our apps, which are fantastic, which have been created by some of the finest minds in Sudoku, and which are available on the link under the video. There are 9 different apps, and they include line Sudoku and thermo Sudoku, although not slow thermo Sudoku, which is what we're looking at today. In fact, slightly different, and important that one knows the difference before tackling this puzzle. Now, what else have we got going on Patreon? Of course, Blobs' fantastic Lord of the Rings puzzle hunt. That is available. It is great fun. The reviews are spectacular, just as is the document itself, with the wonderful Ted Naismith illustrations that Blobs has been allowed to incorporate in the pack, and it really is a class piece of work. Please do not judge future Patreon contributions by that one. It's too good. And there's always loads of other stuff on Patreon. I will mention, in fact, the very sad news that Richard Rogan, the Times crossword editor, passed away this weekend, and that's come as a real shock to me. He's very much of my generation. I think he's only 5 years older than I am, and he's a really, really lovely guy who I really enjoyed meeting once or twice a year for the past 10 or 15 years, and I'm absolutely shocked by his passing. From the complications resulting from a heart attack, I believe. Terrible news. He was responsible for constructing every other of the Times Monthly Club specials, and the next time I do one of those, I will tribute Richard a bit further, because he's wonderful. They appear on Patreon as well, which is why I'm mentioning them here, along with all sorts of other content on Patreon, like Simon solving Fistomafel's Skyscraper, which is worth a watch. Now, what else? Nothing else to say. Let's have a look at the rules of this puzzle by Katmandoku. Welcome to the channel, Katmandoku. I don't know whether your name is more like Catwoman or based on Kathmandu, but I like it. And the puzzle is called, well, I've worked this out in the last second. It's called Slow Germo. I was about to call it Slogamo or something, but it's called Slow Germo because it's a mixture of German whispers and slow thermos. Da-da! Figured it out. Anyway, let's do the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply. We're going to try and fit 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box, as we do 98% of the time. That may be an overestimate. Adjacent digits on a green line must have a difference of at least 5. So you could have 1 and 6 in these cells, or 3 and 9, but not 2 and 6. Digits, so the thermos marked are slow thermos. Digits marked on a slow thermo must either increase or stay the same from the bulb end. So if that was a 1, this could be another 1, because there's nothing in Sudoku rules to stop that happening. And all that we say about as we go cell to cell from the bulb end is that we mustn't decrease. And that's why they're slow thermos. A term I believe I coined, because the temperature is rising more slowly up the mercury of these thermometers than, or potentially more slowly than with the traditional thermos. Now, Oh, this is vital. There is a disjoint subset rule. Cells within the same position in boxes cannot contain the same digits. So these 9 cells in the top left of their boxes, as in the example given in the rules, must all be a set of the digits 1 to 9. Now that is not only a very difficult rule to actually function with, and it kind of gives you a 4th dimension. We're used to looking along rows, columns and in boxes, but now we have to look in positions within each box as well. But it's quite hard to remember because it doesn't offer, especially in puzzles like this where there aren't any given digits, because it doesn't often play much at the beginning, but it comes into its own towards the middle of the puzzle. Now, this is a red queen. She's really there to represent queen moves and tell me when I'm missing a queen constraint, but I don't often get to use her because queen Sudoku is pretty rare. I'm going to put her in front of me so that she might remind me later on when I forget that there is a disjoint subset rule. So I'll just say it again. No digit in any same position within a box can be the same. So you couldn't have a 3 there and a 3 there because they're in the same position within 2 different boxes. I mean, it's a strange rule, but it really does give some interesting effects sometimes. Let's try this puzzle. Let's get cracking. So, well, I'm never afraid to pencil mark. Certainly not in one of these. Actually, we're going to get the polarity of this line. Right. I'm going to tell you 3 things about German whispers because they often help. One is that 5 can never appear on a green line because it can't have any neighbours. So the 5 in row 3 must be not on a green cell. This next thing is that digits must alternate between higher than 5 and lower than 5 to maintain the parity. To maintain the differences along the line. We sometimes call those the polarities, high or low. And the third thing is that 4 and 6 can never go in a position on one of these lines where their 2 neighbours could see each other. So what I mean by that is if you were to put a 4 in that cell, both of these 2 would have to be 9 by the German whisper rule, and that breaks Sudoku. So in fact, okay, well I'm going to quickly mark this in 2 colours because of the alternating polarities. And what this is telling me is that all of these purple digits are using up either the highs or the lows. In the green digits, we can't have 4 or 6. So this is either the low digits, in which case 4 is not in any of those cells and has to be here, or green is the high digits, in which case 6 is not in any of those cells and has to be here. So these cells are made up of a 5 and either 4 or 6. I'm probably not going to get much further at this point. So I'm coming down here. The reason I'm coming down to box 9 is because we're doing a slow thermo puzzle, but the thermo in box 9 is entirely contained within box 9, and therefore it's the same as a quick thermo, or a regular thermo I should call it. And we must increase every step of the way, because otherwise we'd be repeating a digit within a box, and we're not allowed to do that by normal Sudoku rules. So we get those pencil marked candidates along the lines, and we know that this is now high, because that is 6, 7 or 8. So is that one. And we can now do the alternating along this line of orange and blue, meaning high and low. This digit could be a 4 because its 2 neighbours don't see each other. So they could both be 9s. This one, however, cannot be a 6 because its 2 neighbours do see each other. So does that... It doesn't actually get any more done there. I don't think. No, I'm not seeing any triples, doubles, quads forming. This might... Oh no, these 2 are different colours. Right, the colour marking for this sort of upended this wigwam, I suppose, if that's not an offensive term. how about TP, is that these must alternate in this pattern, so that it doesn't particularly help that we're looking at 2 blues in row 8. I could mark that blue. Sorry, I may have to get rid of a cough now. Right, sorry about that. Now, didn't get very far with the TP. This one, okay, I want to pencil mark this, but actually, oh, this is weird. Look at the minimum digits. To get an idea of how many pencil marks each cell would have, just consider that everything was minimized on this. We'd go 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, I suppose, because that one would be a 2, 4, 5. So there is a lot of variety on this. But okay, let's consider this cell. This cell is not 4, 5, or 6 because its neighbors see each other. It's one of those monogamous. It can't be a monogamous digit. So from the beginning, this is 1, 2, 3, 7, or 8, 8 or 9 by whisper rules. Now, it's clearly not 1 because even on the minimal count, we got to a 2 there. It's not 9 because the lowest these three can be is 7, 8, 9. So in fact, it's not 8 either. It could be 7. And then this could go 7, 8, 9. That's quite interesting. If it was 7, it would be surrounded by a 1, 2 pair. If it was 3, it would be surrounded by an 8, 9 pair. The trouble is if it's 2, it could be surrounded by 7, 8, and 9. Any of those two. The other thing I'm thinking about, which is quite interesting, is that the other digit from 4 or 6 that isn't in these two cells must go on one end of the line next to an extreme digit, a 1 or a 9. Okay, we need to focus on this a bit more. Something... Oh, and does this have to be high at the end of 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6 is the minimum? Yes, that is high. And it's not 6, because 6 would see 2 of the same digit. This is definitely low by the same token. I don't know if that's going to help. Now, could this be... Well, it can't be 5, because 5 in the box is in one of those cells. I don't think it could be 6, because we'd be going 7, 8... Yeah, we can't get to the total. So that's also low. So if green is low, that is a 1, 2, 3, 4 set, which would probably help. Actually, I am going to pencil mark this line because it's although it's shorter than this line, it's much more helpful because the digits have to change more often. Let's see if I've got this right. Oh, 4, 5, or 6 there. No, that could also be 7, so I haven't quite put enough candidates in. That's a shame. Let's say this, if this went 1, 2, 3, 4, that could be 4 again. So I'm going to have to put 4, 5, 6, 7 there, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's the green line that stops this being a 6. So I didn't quite get as much info from that as I was hoping. Oh, that's lovely. Right, got it. If this was a 7, look what happens here. That digit is at least 7. So is this one, obviously, because it's higher than row 4, column 6. And now we've got 4 digits in our putative column, which are all 7 or more. You can't do that. You can only fit 3 of them in the column. Therefore, that is not a 7, and therefore purple is low, and we have got... now that's not necessarily the same as purple down here. Sorry, I've got to be careful about that. I should have been more careful earlier. I hope you understood that I wasn't colouring this in accordance with this line just as 2 different colours. I should have chosen yellow and red. I didn't. Anyway, we've got 2 or 3 here. Now they're surrounded by 7, 8, 9, and now we have got a triple. No, even better, we can trace this up to the bulb, sort of, in... I don't know. I thought that was going to be better. But they are all at least reduced to 2 candidates each. Now we've got a 7, 8, 9 triple down here. That's really interesting for this cell. No, for this cell, which can't be higher than 6. So this one, I was going to fill in 2, 3, 4, but I don't think this can be a 2. Because that has to be at least a 2. Yeah, this can't be a 2. It won't work. That's 3 or 4. That's 4 or 5. That's 5 or 6. Now, something must be breaking up for us at this point. What's happening here? This one as well is not from 7, 8, 9. So in fact, the 7, 8, 9 triple are a set in box 5 there. This is low. We know these are low because we know that's high in the corner. That is, well, I was going to say low, but it could be 4, 5, it could be 5 or 6. So I don't know. Now, the 7, 8, 9 triple here, I should have been using that on this. That takes 2 cells off the top candidates there, so we can run that back up the line so that we're reduced to 2 candidates in each cell on this thermo. And that's a 4, 5, 6 triple, which puts us in business. 3, 2, 1. I'm probably not going to do much more colouring of lines because I don't think it's going to be necessary, but oh, we've got this 4, 5, 6. These are from 1, 2, 3. This is from 7, 8, 9, but one of the ends of this, oh, that's 4 or 5 is what I've pencil marked, but it's on a green line, so that's 4, that's 9, there's our extreme digit. That takes 9 out of a bunch of cells. That makes these come from 1, 2, 3, I think, because they're touching a 7 or an 8. This digit has to be a 1 since it sees 3, 2. That's now part of a 2, 3 pair that look at this cell, where 1 looks at that one. 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. This one is from 4, 5, 6. It's part of a triple there. These ones are now a 5, 6 pair. This is a 7, 8, 9 triple, which gives us a triple in the top row as well. It's a neat puzzle, this. I like it. Now, 7, 8 pair, that one can't be a 3 because it must see a 7 on one side or the other. It doesn't seem to help. Now, for these to be low, they would have to be 3 and 4. That would make these a definite 8, 9 pair, which would put 7 here. These would have to be in the order 4, then 3. For this not to be 5, it would be low. I mean, you could consider it coloured blue if it wasn't 5. And then all of these 3 would be blue, and one of these 2 would be the 4th blue in the row. Okay, that's not a lot of use until we know something more. If this was a 3, that would be an 8-9 pair. Oh, if this was a 1, that would be 4, and that would be 9. I don't know. I'm still expecting this to feed into this TP, and it's not really doing it. So I'm missing the point somewhere here. One of these two is a 9 in the column. 9 in this box is in one of those 3. That's not very helpful. Two, 3, 1, 4. I'm not quite sure where to look. Sorry. That can't be a 1 anymore. Have we got any triples or something? If that was 2, that would be 1. And that would be 2. That would be the only place for 2 to go in the box. And if that's 3... Oh, that's interesting. If that's 3, that is the only place for 3 to go in the box. It couldn't go there, because once that's 3, these both have to be at least 3. So, whatever that is the same as that digit. For definite. I want to say that means those two are the same, but I'm not sure that's necessarily true. I'm not going to say that. Okay, let's come back down here and think about these ones again. Okay, now I spent some time thinking about if those were low. What if these were low? This would be 1, 2, or 4. I don't know. Sorry, I'm not quite getting a grip on this at the moment. Need to refocus a little, maybe kickstart again. Oh, that's a 7-8 pair. This is a 9. It just is. Oh, numpty. That hasn't changed where 9 is in this column. It stops either of those being a 9. So this digit now... No, this digit now. I don't know. I want to know which one's high and which one's low, and I don't know. Maybe there's some way. Maybe whatever that digit is in one of those 2 cells, so it's in one of those 3. The fact that this can be a 4 probably means it is. If this was a 1, that has to be 2 or 3. Then that has to be 3 or 4, and that has to be 4 or 5. I can't see what the problem is with that. There might be one, but I can't see what it is. Okay, come on, Mark, figure it out. Maybe there's a play between those. For that to be 3, that's 2, and that's 2, and that's 1, and that's 1. Oh, there is only one place for 1 in this whole box. How can I not see that? I don't know, but I've got it now. So they are the same. So there's a 1 in one of these cells. Now just check 2. Can they both be 2? Yeah, I can't see why. 6 is definitely in one of these 2 in the box. I hadn't noticed that before. So this is 2, 3, 4, or 5. That's just what it has to be now. 5 could be anywhere there. 4 anywhere there. I can't see what to do. There's a 1 in one of these cells. So there's no 6 here. I was noticing that earlier. I still think row 8 is the place to fixate on, or not to fixate on, but to find something that might help. But I admit I don't know what it is. Okay, I'm looking everywhere else now because as soon as I said row 8 is the place to look, my brain immediately goes, oh, maybe it's somewhere else then. Don't know why. Misbehaving brain. That digit is definitely in one of these two and one of these two. These are from, because their neighbours see each other, they're from 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. And this one can't be 1 or 2. So that is 3, 7, 8 or 9. If that is 3, these have to be 8 there and 9 there. Then we would have a 9, 8, 1 triple. If this is low, if this is 3. And that would be 4. Which would actually make this a 1 in its own right. Okay, if this was 4, which is the only way it can be low, this is 1, that's 9, this is now not 2 or 3. Since that can't be 4, it can't be 3 anymore because of this, so it would have to be 5. So we would be going 4, 1, 9, 5, 7 in this row. With an 8 here. The other digits would be 2, 6 and 3. Whatever that yellow digit is would have to be here. But it does seem to work. That's really annoying. It does just hang together. So I can't quite decide the polarity of green and purple down here. And I'm going to admit that that is irking me considerably at the moment, that I just can't get a breakthrough from that. I've probably totally forgotten some enormous... Right, this can't be a 2-8 pair, because that would leave this to be a 3-7 pair. In fact, one of these pairs is 3-8 and one of them is 2-7 because neither can be 3-7. So this is either 2-7, in which case we go 1-8-3, or it's 3-8, in which case that's a 7. I can't quite get a handle on this. It's funny, it feels like it's there virtually and just screaming to be completed, and I can't do it because I'm an numpty. Oh, this can't be a 3 by Sudoku. So if this is low, this is 1 or 2. And this one would then be 1, 2 or 4, and that would begin to create a triple in the row. Okay, let's focus again on this being low. If that's 3 or 4, this then can't be 3. So if that's 3 or 4, this is 1 or 2. I don't know, I'm sorry, I can't get my head around what is happening here. 4 there would also create 5 and 6 on the north side. Oh, there is a 1 in one of these 3 cells. I've only just noticed that. It probably doesn't matter at all at this stage. 3, 4, 4, 5, 4, 6. So maybe I haven't considered these digits. If that was a 6, the weird thing is that would force this to be a 1 both on the thermo and on the whisper. If this was a 3, that would be an 8-9 pair. Now, does that have some actual effect on the puzzle that I can't see? That would be 8, so this would be 7. So this would be 8, so that would be 3. We'd then have 3s in these positions. Oh, if this was 3, the whole thermo would be fixed, and that would be a 5. We'd have 3, 5 here. And 7 here. 3, 5, 7, 9. With 1, 2, 4. Oh, look! There's a 4 in one of those cells by Sudoku. So neither of these are a 4. So 4 in row 8 is either in one of these cells with a 9 diagonally below it, or in this cell with a 9 there, or in this cell where it's the middliest of the 3 digits that can go there. I can't quite see what that's doing. I'm sorry if I'm being slow here. I probably am. Let's go back to 3 in the corner. What happens there? We get an 8 here and a 9 there because we have a 4 here. So 3, 8, 9, 4. That 4 forces this to be a 1. And that makes this at least 2 or 3. And that makes this 5 then. So we get, I think I've done exactly this before. We get 4, 9, 3, 8, 4, 8, 1, 9, 5, 3, 7. And this has to be a 2, 6 pair. And what that would do would make this a 3, 3 pair. Which would also make this a 3. So so if this yellow is a 3, these are all 3s. Got a 3 somewhere there. I don't know, I feel like something will fall apart in a moment, but I can't quite make it happen. There's this 7, 8, 9 triple, so 9 has to be in one of those cells and not here. There's a 9 somewhere up in row 2 there. I don't think that did anything for me, but it's another pencil mark achieved. The yellow 2 or 3 is here. Is this bulb and thermo doing anything? It just couldn't be, could it? Still, doesn't feel like it could. And this hasn't been doing anything for ages. It can't involve the yellow cell, but it could involve a 1 as long as it was here. Ah, not getting it. Not getting it. 3, 4, 5, 6. If that's a 3. No, that doesn't make this go 4, 5, 6. This could be 3 again. It's a very strange puzzle, and it is fooling me quite badly. Right, if that was a 4, that's a 5, that's 4, that's 1. And 4's in one of these two. 4, 5, 4, 1. A 5 here. Makes that a 6. That's interesting. If that's a 6, there's a 6 in one of these cells. Maybe it's not interesting. I can't get to grips with this. I'm so sorry. You just want to see a solution now, and I don't know what it is. Okay, if that was 6, we'd be going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'd have a 7, 8, 9 triple around the outside. There she is. 28 minutes in. I'm so dumb. I got the queen out to tell me about the disjoint subset, and I've ignored her the whole time, and it's going to be so straightforward now, probably. Look, that 3 says that can't be a 3. Come on, man. I mean, just such a numpty. It's not looking immediately like there are a whole heap of deductions that can be done. That can't be a 1 because of that. Now that is the 1 in the row. Okay, come on, let's just keep going with this, because I haven't got that many given digits, so maybe this turns out by chance to be the right time to look at this, but I've clearly wasted 5 or 10 minutes. I'm just hoping it's not more, forgetting the disjoint subset rule. But I've remembered it now. I'm hoping, right, that can't be a 9 by the disjoint subset rule. So this can't be a 4. If this was low, it would be 1, 2, or 3. Come on, we must be getting something out of the disjoint subset rule. That can't be a 4. We haven't got that many given digits though, so maybe this isn't the necessary action. I don't know. That can't be a 1. So 1 is in one of those 2 cells, I think. Must be missing something. It's got to be about the disjoint subset. It's got to be. Come on, Mark. What is not possible and what is now possible? Well, this is shocking that I could have got to a point where I was absolutely certain that was the only problem, and then I can't make further headway. Let's think about these being low again. We'd have 3 in the corner, 8 here in the center of a cell. Oh, maybe we need to find a digit that has to go somewhere. Like, where does 9 go in the center of a box? I suppose one of those 3. Yeah, it might be a trick like that somehow. One in a box center is either there, or there, which are very different places, but all of them have some impact. This being a 1 would make that a 2. Oh, come on, man. Use this queen that you've now finally spotted. There must be something going on. That is 4, 5, or 6, and so is that in bottom middle position. It's so strange that this isn't yielding anything more. We've got that down to 3, 7, or 8. Right, if that was a 7, this is a 1, 2 pair. That would give us a 1, 2, 4 triple here. Which would make that a 5 in the center of a box, and that a 6. Wow, that would make these part of a 7, 8, 9 triple in the row. Okay, so if that was a 2, do we get the same effect? I don't know, I just don't know. This is it though. I mean, this is clearly part of the next breakthrough. It's odd that, I mean, I got so far without really using the business about disjoint subsets. But as I said at the beginning, they're quite difficult to apply until at least the middle stage of a puzzle. So, okay, I'm going to try and feel a little less bad about not getting them earlier. Now, one of these pairs was a 3, 8 pair, and the other is a 2, 7 pair. Does that do anything? Not on the subset, I don't think. That is a bottom middle. Let's have a look at bottom middles. Nothing very interesting to be gleaned from the bottom middles. Nearly, though. If that's high, this is a 789 triple. What of it, I hear you ask, and I don't know the answer. Okay, central digits again. 3. They're an interesting set, and we haven't used any of the 3 high digits, 7, 8, or 9 yet. That's quite interesting. Yes, okay, so for these middle digits, we're going to have to use 3 out of 7, 8, 9 amongst these 4 cells. Now, in one case or the other, they're going to create a 789 triple. You're either going to get a 789 triple here, which leads to that being 6 and this being 1, and this whole thermo being identified, apart from the last cell. Or you're going to get a 789 triple here, which is impossible, because it would make this low and that high, and they're the same color. Right, so those two we have to put 3 789s into these 4 cells, and we can't have 2 of them in those. So these 2 are from 789. That is an extraordinary step in this puzzle, by the way. That's really interesting, and this is a 6. And now we can just run that down this fast thermo, also slow thermo, to a 1 there, and this is a 4, and this is not a 1. Oh, if it's low, it's a definite 2. In fact, what is this now? It is 2, and I was going to say 6, 7, or 8, but it can't be 6 or 7 because of this digit that it's connected to. So that is 2 or 8 now, which is a very odd pair. But this one can't be 1, 2, 3, or 4. So we know the polarity of green and purple finally, and purple has become blue, and that 2 or 8 has become a 2. This is 7 or 8. This is low and has to be 1 because it sees 3 and 4. That gives us a 1 here. I am trying to remember the queen again now, but she doesn't matter in terms of completing the 1s because they are just done by Sudoku. Now, these central digits, we've got 2, 4, 1, 3, okay, 5, 6, and then this 7, 8, 9 triple. I'm going back to colouring my higher digits because it seemed to suddenly help. These are from 6, 7, 8. And in fact, I might as well colour them. 4, 1, 6. We've got 2, 3, and 5 to place now. Trying to remember the disjoint subset and really struggling a bit, but top right, look, there's a 7, 8, 9 triple in the top right, and there's a 1. The other digits are 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Where can 5 be in the top right cell? Looks like there or there. I'm just going to highlight them all again. 7, 8, 9, 1. Okay, I can't finish that off. There must be something I can now, though. Gotta be. That's 6. This could be anything by the rules. That can't be a 4 anymore. That's 2 or 3 in a top right cell. That's what we were just looking at. These ones are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's weird, this disjoint subset. It just doesn't do the things you think it might. Certainly not quickly. Now, that can't be a 2. And there is a 2 in one of these cells. Come on, one of these must have got ruled out by the subset, or that one. No. How about this one? No, don't think so. Okay, bottom rights. 1, 4, 2, 2 from 7, 8, 9. Where is 2 in the bottom right? Either there or there. This should be good. Oh, that 5 has made this a 6. That's a 2, 3, 4 triple, so that's a 5. And that's not a 6. This is a 4, 5 pair. Just Sudoku is easier to do than the disjoint stuff. Right, but now let's look at the disjoint again. Bottom right, 5, 6, 1, 4. That could be a 3, or it could be from 7, 8, 9. Could it? Yes, it could. These are from 3. Okay, this column we've got a 2, 3 pair. This is 7, 8 or 9, but in this box it can't be a 9. Now I've got a 7, 8 pair in the bottom row, and that's 9 in the corner. This is a 3, 6 pair. I know the order because I've just discovered a 6, 7, 8 set there. 7, 8. This is part of a 2, 3 pair in this box. And that's a different 2, but that's a 2, 3 pair in the column, which is all paired up. I was trying to get rid of the 4 pencil mark. There we go. Now, disjoint, disjoint, disjoint. 1, 4, 2, 5, 6, 3. I've done that one before. Let's try the left hand. 3, 1, 2. High, high. 4 or 5. I've just got to select the right cell. Bottom right again. 3, 1, 4, 5, 9, 6. That one is a 2 because we've had a 3 down there. Right. So in this row, that's a 3. By the whisper, that's an 8. That's a 7. Now I can fill in 2 and 7 up here. Now, that's done something else. That 7 is looking at this box, but it's also looking at the top right cell here, which is an 8. So we get 7 there. On the whisper, this must be 2. Barely noticed that whisper in a long time. That 3 is giving me a 2 here. On the thermo, that's a 2. Desperately trying to keep my voice in check for you at the moment. There's no 7, and we've had 7 in the box. These are from 3, 4, 6. In fact, that is a naked 4. It sees 2, 1, 8, 5, 9 in the column, 3, 7, 6 in the row. This has to be high because of the whisper. That is 3 or 6 in the corner. That's 3 or 7. Chocolate teapot triple. No thanks for that. That's not a 7. Okay, these central digits, 8 and 9 over there, so this one is a 7. That's the sort of thing that can be quite useful because it kind of comes out of nowhere. We get a 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spot. Light. 4 in the top row. Losing its religion. Okay, that thermo, this so-called slow thermo has of course turned into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is any speed of thermo you like. That's an 8 or a 9, which is orange. These aren't a 5. That's a 2, 3 pair. This is 4, 8 or 9, but it can't be 9 on the thermo, which is another non-slow thermo. That one can be either on the thermo, that's fine. 1, 2, 7, 3. So in this column, that's not a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. 4, 5, 9 go here in some order. Okay, back to the disjoint. Top right, 3, 7, that must be a 4. 3, 7, 4, 2, 3, 1, 8. That has to be a 9. That has to be a 5, and that has to be a 6. Thank you, top right cells. Okay, good. Now, how about bottom middle? Yes, we've had a 7 in the bottom middle, so that's an 8. And they're not 8s, that's an 8 now in the bottom left. Shall we move over to the bottom left? Okay. 8, 6, 9, 1, 2, 7, 3, 4, 5 left to place. That one is a 5. This pair is a 3, 4 pair, and they both see, in fact, we know which way around they go thanks to a 3 in column 7. And now that becomes a 2, that's a 3, this is 8, that's 9, this is 4, this is 9, this is 4, this is 8, this is 6, this is 7, that's 9, that's 7, that's 9, that's 8, and just a few cells to finish off with great relief. And I am very grateful. Wow. That's tough. To my friend who got me this queen, who admittedly hung out there for 10 minutes without telling me she was there, but then was very helpful. Excellent. Well, sorry about the colouring, which was sporadic. Weirdly, it was helpful when I used it and not so helpful when I didn't. But that's what you'd expect. Slow germo, and I was a bit slow about that, but it was good fun. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you again soon on the channel. Catch us streaming on Wednesday evening. Bye for now.